I had a conversation, and first of all, I want to thank our business group. We had men and women from bigger companies, mid-sized companies, small companies, and asked them to come together and help us in coming up with the right protocols. And frankly, we've learned from things that have occurred with businesses that were allowed to stay open and some of the things that they have done, where they've done a really, really good job. But the person who headed that up was Frank Sullivan. And I had a conversation with Frank this morning, had a lot of conversations with him as this has been being put together, something that Lieutenant Governor worked on daily. But Frank said to me, you know, Mike, he says, the idea that we can't do two things at once in Ohio is crazy. We're Ohioans. We can do two things at once. We can get this economy moving back, at the same time continue to protect each other and protect our communities. So let's talk a little bit about that. And let me start with kind of where we are and what we've accomplished. And I want to talk, as you'll see some of these things I'm going to show you, they directly relate to getting us moving in May and getting us moving forward. So I'm going to start, Eric, if I could, with the COVID-19 statistics that we just got a few minutes ago. And I'll start cases. As you can see, the total number of cases. But what I always look at is over here to this side. 5-day reported case average. So you go back in 5 days and look at what we've seen. What's that average? So let's start with cases. 5-day reported average, go back 5 days, 442. That was the average for each day. Last 24 hours, 362. So you can see we're going in the right direction, down. Deaths. Deaths are a lagging indicator. And so these are always far behind whatever else is occurring. In the last 24 hours, what was reported is the deaths of 25 of our fellow citizens were reported. The 5-day average, going back 5 days, was 29. Hospitalizations, again, something that I always want to look at. And these are things that I look at every morning. Last 24-hour reported hospitalizations, new ones, 54. 5-day average was 70. Again, that one is going in the right direction. ICU admissions, last 24 hours 26, 5-day average is 20. So you can see with these lines that what you have done has made a difference. Now we're not there. We haven't had 2 weeks coming down, but we're moving. We're moving in the right direction. That's because of what you have done, and that is just so very, very important. Let me share with you something else. And remember, I've talked about May as a crucial month. We needed to fight this virus 2 additional things, besides what you have been doing. We need 2 additional things. We need to ramp up testing dramatically, and we needed at the same time to do the tracing. So I want to start with the testing. Remember last week we talked about, early in the week, I talked about asking Governor Celeste, former Governor Celeste, former Governor Taft, to come in and help us. They did that. They pulled together with our team. We were able to get an agreement with Thermo Fisher in regard to a problem that we've had and other states have had, and that is the inability to get enough reagent. That was a major breakthrough. Also, last week, the Manufacturer Alliance, specifically Road Dental, now we have come up with a method to consistently make a lot more swabs every single day. So those 2 things coming together, this is what May looks like. This is what our projection is. We'll start April 29th, that's this Wednesday, And you'll see at the top in white daily testing totals. And you'll see each week from then where we go. So April 29th, that week, we will be able that for that next 7 days, daily testing at about 7,200 a day. That's significantly above what we've had. A weekly total roughly 43,000. The week beginning May 6th, we double it, 14,000. And again, you'll see the number doubling down below. That's the weekly total. We go to May 13th, we're up to 18,000 per day. These are per day now. May 20th, we're up to 20,000 a day. May 27th, 22,000. Now, these are what we think we're going to be able to achieve. But we think we have a real shot at getting those numbers and being able to come up with that much capacity to test. So again, in May, a lot of interesting things are happening, and things that we've been waiting for, things that we've been trying to get going. Last week it kicked in. Let's go to tracing. We talked last week about tracing. Tracing and testing go together. And the tracing, as the doctor explained it last week, is something that health departments have done for years. Nothing new about tracing. Simply trying to break that, separate people, so when someone has it, someone's been exposed to it, then they don't expose someone else. It's kind of basic. And it's, again, something that our 113 health departments know how to do. But the challenge is they've never had this many to do. This is at a scale that we've never seen before. And so, if we're going to move the economy forward, open things up, we've got to be able to do the testing, we've got to do the tracing, and you all have got to continue to do the separation and all the things that you have been doing. So, this is the contact tracing workforce. It takes people. Starter at the left. We have about 685 local public health workers at local health departments around the state of Ohio who are trained to do this. They're there. But that's not, clearly is not going to be enough. So we have, right now, under Tier 1, we see Tier 1, we have about 900 volunteers. These are people who have been doing other things. They've said that they could volunteer to do this. And we are using, some of the local health departments are using some of these volunteers now. But we know that this could be with us for a year, 18 months, and that this tracing is going to have to be done over a long period of time. And so hiring people for the long haul is probably where we need to go. So we're getting money to go to each of the health departments around the state so they can hire people to do this. We're going to bring in the training to train them. Again, this goes back to Partners in Health, the group that I told you about. They will come in and help us train these workers. This is a pool that we're putting together at the state level. And Tier 2 and Tier 3 are really occurring simultaneously as we move forward through the month. What is that group for? It's for if we have a nursing home where we have a number of people who have the virus, or if we have something else in a community, a village, somewhere else where the local health department is just overrun, we will be able to surge people in there to make a difference. Our goal, aspirational goal, June 1, 1,750 workers in process. So again, a lot of things we believe will happen in May. And the tracing, the testing enables us to move forward, to start back to open up the economy even more.